Hey, good morning, Showiteers, or top of the morning to
Top of
you.
the morning to y'all.
Like that. Welcome to another episode of Show It Live here on showittier.com. I'm Field Denny. This is my wonderful co-host, Elizabeth Langford.
Hi, good morning, Showit. We're so glad that you've joined us. It is Tuesday, March the 17th, and so that means that especially here in the United States, we are celebrating St. Patty's Day.
Yes,
today.
and the planets aligned in such a miraculous fashion that we actually are being joined today by a real life Irishman. I know that they're not just
actually
not just on TV.
Skyping in from Ireland,
Yes,
which is very exciting.
It's always fun to have international people on, and it's special when it lines up with a great day.
Completely. And it's we've been talking to him a little bit before we came on with you, and just finding out how they celebrate St. Patty's Day. And I think we've taken it to a whole nother level.
Yes.
Here in the United States of America.
As we tend to do.
As we do. Drinking in the morning. We've got a little Magners Irish cider. Yeah. I couldn't find the Guinness. They didn't have it at Target this morning.
It's all right.
Sold out.
Can you believe that? They'd be sold out of Guinness. It's like there was a holiday coming up where it'd be traditional to drink Guinness,
exactly.
Or at least stereotypical.
I woke up in panic this morning because I realized that the only green things in my closet all say University of Oregon on them or have a big O, and green is like my favorite color. I just don't wear it unless it's Oregon green. Yeah. So luckily Field suggested the green Showit shirts. Was very, very wise.
Yeah, our entire washing machine and dryer the past couple of days has just been getting all the green clothes ready.
Just getting them ready.
So we could choose whatever we wanted to wear.
Oh, that's nice. Are all your little people in green today?
All my little people are in green.
What? Yes. You have people in your house and they're little.
It's true. It's true. Some people call them children. Today, today we call
them leprechauns. Yeah. I don't know. I hear it's okay.
Yeah. Speaking. We've been working really hard lately.
Yes.
Yeah, getting ready for something called United.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So we're what's burning the midnight oil.
Burning the midnight oil, writing on whiteboards. We've got all sorts of fun ideas happening, and we're so excited. United, as you probably know, is coming up. It's October 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona, so sort of somewhat in our backyard. Of where Showit is located, and we just are so excited to have so many wonderful Showiteers and even some non-Showiteers that are going to come and be a part of it. We've got a great speaker lineup. We're actually still accepting applications for speakers that you can apply to speak, and if you go to showitunited.com and go to the speakers page, you can click on apply to speak and tell us what you'd like to talk about, and we're going to be announcing more of those in the coming weeks, and some exciting information. We have a big party that's happening on Monday night that's very exciting, and we're still like hammering out the details and deciding exactly what the theme is going to be of that. I think it's going to have a theme.
I think it may be Irish.
Maybe
not. That may just be an idea that comes today and leaves tomorrow.
Right.
It will be an idea today. So if you want like some insider information on that, just look to Liz's left. Right over there, there's a whiteboard with all sorts of. Oh no, you can't see that.
You can't see that. It is. It's over in the corner, and there's a very exciting whiteboard with lots of times and lots of names and lots of fun to be had.
Yeah.
So we're really excited. We're gonna keep rolling out more information to you about United. But you can still go and grab tickets. There are a handful of those left, and go to showitunited.com for more information.
Yeah, great. Also on the left side of Liz, what you actually can see is the chat window, which I see we have some super awesome Showiteers in there already. Happy birthday to Carrie Swales'
Happy birthday, Carrie Swales' dad.
Yes.
That's very exciting. He's born on St. Patty's Day.
Yeah. Actually, I have a couple friends who were born today.
Oh, that's really cool.
So, I mean, not today. I don't.
Yeah.
But on this date in a previous year.
Well, and we would love to know what some of your traditions are. If you are, if you're Irish or if you're not, and you're just enjoying celebrating St. Patty's Day. Actually, Showit CEO Todd Watson, he and his family have a great tradition that they do, where their kids go looking for a leprechaun who has left a pot of gold.
Which this year is played by Liz Langford.
It's not true.
It's true.
I did look for a leprechaun costume, but they were all sold out.
Sold out of Guinness and leprechaun costume.
Right? It's a very popular holiday.
I would be surprised if they had one in your size. No.
Okay, with the small, short.
It's a short list of tiny jokes.
Right, that's true. So Showiteers, we have a really amazing guest on today, coming directly from Ireland. And Phil, tell us a little bit more about this Irishman that we're going to be talking to today.
So his name is Donal, and he's fantastic. He spent a couple years, and he can actually probably do a better job telling you his backstory than I can. But he spent a couple years working in the corporate world, doing marketing and stuff. And then he's been in the photography industry now for quite a while, and he started up a new business, basically. If you guys have heard of Kickstarter, which of course we have around here.
We love Kickstarter.
Showit CEO Todd Watson kickstarted Kickstarter. Found that out from the Showit robot the other day. It's true. He kickstarts. So not only is Donal great at marketing, but he's also done this Kickstarter bit. And so let's just welcome him on, and he can tell us a little bit more about it. Welcome, Donal.
Good morning.
Hey, how you guys?
How are you today?
I'm not going to say top of the morning, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Be as stereotypical as you can. The Americans here will love it. So, I mean me when I say the Americans.
Yeah, so I see you guys have got your Magners there, so I've got my Guinness here. Well, so actually, what I've done, I've got 6. So we should. I don't think I'm going to drink these all during the broadcast. Don't worry.
No, yeah. What I like though is you brought enough to share.
Right. That's very thoughtful, Donal.
Shows a kind heart. That's what that does.
You're welcome.
Well, so Donal, give us a little bit of your backstory here, your history, and what got you into marketing and all that jazz.
Yeah, sure. I was a PR marketing consultant to begin with. So I went to university in Edinburgh, 3 years in Edinburgh in Scotland, and then a year in Sweden at university. And then went off into the kind of the corporate world, as you mentioned, and became a PR and marketing consultant. So I was really lucky to work with some of the biggest companies within the, basically some of the biggest brands in the world, and I work as part of their marketing team. And then I set up my own PR company in 2007, moved back to Northern Ireland, and everything was going really, really great, and the business was growing and growing and growing. And around about that time, at the end of 2009, I had about 3 or 4 people working in the office, 80 people working part-time. But I just been shortlisted as Entrepreneur of the Year.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I absolutely hated what I was doing. So in the background I had been doing photography, and eventually the same story as a lot of other people. A few friends had asked me to do their weddings, and then in 2009 I got an email to ask me would I come to Australia to shoot a friend's wedding, and they would pay for everything. And so you know what, standing in a vineyard, 19th of December 2009, the sun was split in the sky. The couple were the best fun ever. The location was unbelievable. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. You know, this is what I need to be doing with my life. Came home, sold the business. And, 5 years later, I'm shooting sort of 45 to 50 weddings a year. 2 years ago, I was lucky to shoot in 9 countries around the world. So I did an elopement in Cancun with just me and the couple, which is really nice. So they told their parents just 24 hours before they left. And it was just me and them, and I was their witness. Which was nice. I had 5 days in Cancun to acclimatize to the weather and the cocktails.
Oh, and you were okay. You survived that. That's something.
You know what? It was hard, but I got through it.
That's good to know. I'm gonna write that down. Like if I need to go to Cancun, shoot a
days to acclimate.
5 days.
Climate and cocktails.
5 days. That's good to
know.
I like that. So you shoot 45 to 50 weddings per year.
Yeah.
You are a busy guy.
It's super busy, and then I do 1 or 2 other jobs every week as well. So I've got to say, I'm busy, but I run a really efficient business.
Okay.
So I outsource my editing, and I also have an assistant, Tom, who's just, this business could not function without him because he does a lot of the kind of backroom stuff. But I would say while we're super, super busy, we're really, really efficient in the way that we run the business as well.
That's so awesome. And Donal, can you tell us a little bit about your clientele? Are they mostly Irish couples that are getting married in Northern Ireland, or do you get a lot of foreigners that are coming in for destination weddings where you're at?
Yeah, do you know what? There's a lot of diaspora that people have left Ireland because for work. So there's a lot of Irish people, as you guys know, living in America, living in the UK, living in Australia. And what I would say my typical client, they probably live in the States or Australia. And most of them, one of the couple is probably Irish and they're coming back to get married. So the cool thing about it is well, my website was developed by Melissa Love, and that was done a couple of years ago. I know you guys know she's a friend of the show as well. And Melissa did the site a couple of years ago. And before I did the site, I had to meet with every single person that booked. And what I found was when I wanted to do the site, I knew you guys in the States, you're just brilliant when it comes to connecting with people. And I love what you guys are doing at Showit. So what I wanted to do was to kind of build a website around myself and give people a really good impression of what I was like online. So I did that. And after the website went live, because there was such an extensive about section, I now meet with hardly anybody. So usually less than 5% of the people I have to meet with, because people are already getting such a good impression of the website. And they can, because that's the thing, right? People want to see whether they can connect with you on the wedding day, if you're their kind of person. And I think if you're putting that out online and if people can already understand that from your website, you know, it's half the battle. So yeah.
That is awesome, and we do love Melissa Love. We were so excited that we got to spend some time with her at WPPI in Las Vegas, and we also got to meet Donal in person last week at WPPI in Vegas, or the week before now. I think I'm starting to lose days.
Yeah, it's apparently
flashing by
mid-March. Yeah, Melissa Love's fantastic, and she's a great storyteller.
Yes.
If you ever meet Melissa Love, ask her why she picks up leaves while running. It's a great story.
I love her selfies.
As an aside, now, Donal, in addition to doing 45 to 50 weddings a year, you have this new Kickstarter project called Engage. Is that
yeah, that's right.
Tell us, what is Engage?
Yeah, so you know what? It's been an incredible journey. I definitely have a passion for education as well as photography and the creative arts as well. And while I love some of the programs that you can watch from the States, unfortunately sometimes because of the time difference, it doesn't always line up, so it's a little bit difficult for us to interact live. So what I wanted to do was to kind of bring that business model to Europe, and then put on kind of these live workshops, and also to bring in some voices from Europe, because you know what, there are some incredible trainers based right here, and to bring those voices and to blend those with voices from the States and from around the rest of the world as well. So it's really exciting. Actually, we launched in September. We've been through kind of a couple of iterations, and we started off with like live free workshops in January. So we've just completed our kind of third proper workshop. And yeah, we ran a Kickstarter campaign, which, you know what, it's been an incredible journey. Anybody that's thought about doing a Kickstarter campaign, it's a lot of work. But I can honestly say, from doing the campaign, I have learned so much about marketing, so much about building a tribe. Like I feel like, yeah, I just feel like there's been a lot that I can take away from this experience. But thank God we were just funded, and thank you so much. Also, Showit, you guys have sponsored us and kind of helped us out in that process, which is amazing. So it's been quite a journey. But I just got to say, actually, thank you so much to everyone who has backed us and believed in what we're doing, because I think a Kickstarter is a great way to validate your market as well, and to see if there's actually a market for what you're doing. Because obviously, if you don't get backed, and a lot of campaigns don't get backed, there's possibly not a market for what you're doing later on. So people can check it out if they want to back it. We're overfunded at the moment. It finishes on Friday, so if people want to check it out, if they search Kickstarter for Engage, and they can learn all about everything that's going on. And we've had an incredible team. I mentioned Melissa Love, Levi and Shayna Wiggins. Those guys have been helping us out. Sam and Tom behind the scenes. So yeah, and yeah, there's just been so many people who've been feeding in and kind of helping us to make this happen.
That's awesome. And I think somebody posted the link right up in the chat.
And then we also posted the link underneath the video. You may have to refresh your page to see it, because it kind of got posted there a little late.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and if we get overfunded, we're going to actually put that money into spending it on putting on more courses as well. Because I know for myself, I love going to in-person workshops, and WPPI, they sell it as the best week of your life. It literally is the best week of my life.
That's so great.
Like apart from hugging you guys, just everything that's going on is just amazing there. So I think there's always a place for in-person workshops, but definitely I think online, through what we're doing and the other various other things that are going on there. Matt Kennedy's The Academy, which looks great as well. I know you guys have Matt on. I think it's making it so accessible to people to learn who maybe couldn't have done that before, or wouldn't have had the opportunity to learn from such high quality speakers. So I think it's a very exciting time. And also what you guys are doing on Showit Live, like this is such a great resource as well.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. And we appreciate you joining us. What time is it there? For us, it's about almost 10:25 in the morning.
Yeah, so right now it's like 25 past 5 in the evening.
Okay. All right. So when you get off the call with us, are you going to go out to the pub? I hear in Ireland, like pub life is how life works. That's where you go in the evenings. Is that true?
I think it definitely depends where you live and the lifestyle that you have. I think if you're in a big city like Dublin, for sure, it's definitely like that. The same as in London. But people will definitely be partying tonight. I can promise.
Well, you are recently engaged, so that may change.
It changes everything.
Congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so we're getting I might go out for dinner tonight actually with Margaret, my fiance. But yeah, we got engaged the day before we came to WPPI last year. So what we actually did was there's a really incredible photographer called Daniel Cruz, and what I did was I kind of did a secret engagement in Malibu State Park. So we went there and Daniel was kind of shooting it, and I told Margaret we were just doing a shoot, and I had a video crew there as well. And I told Margaret that they were shooting a promo for Daniel. So we were exploring the state park, and I was just about to propose about 5 minutes later, and we got stopped by a park ranger.
Yeah.
And he said we were either going to be thrown in jail or fined like $20,000 or something crazy like that. Gulp. And yeah, so as if I wasn't nervous enough, we had that. So what happened, actually, we went on a little bit, and then Daniel stayed with the park ranger. And he explained that I was about to propose. So we went up the top of he said it was fine to go on as long as we didn't have too much equipment. But we went up to the top of the hill. And at the top of the hill, I'd organized for this guy with a guitar. And he was like sitting under a tree playing, he was playing Viva La Vida by Coldplay. I love Coldplay. Got down on one knee and said yes. And yeah, it was amazing.
That is amazing.
That is.
What a great proposal
seriously,
story.
That's wonderful. I just threw the ring at Carrie. And I said, this is what you want, right? And she said yes. But yours is a better story.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you and Margaret. Do you have a date set?
Yeah, so we're getting married on the 10th of October later on this year. So it's really, really exciting. And Mike Cologne is actually flying over with Daniel Cruz to shoot the wedding. So Mike and Daniel are good buddies of ours, so they're going to fly over to shoot it. So it's I'm beyond excited. The only thing is that the honeymoon date kind of clashes with a big event.
Yeah.
If you guys maybe...
Scottsdale, Arizona makes for a great honeymoon.
Beautiful honeymoon location.
Yeah.
We could do some amazing honeymoon photos.
Yeah. Yeah, do you know what? Everybody from at United could shoot us for our post-wedding pictures.
Really? The day after could turn into the days after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Day after sessions they don't have to follow.
They don't have to be exact, the wedding day. So going back to Engage, we want to know a little bit more about the courses that are involved. What are the things? Is it all wedding photography? What's the focus?
Yeah, you know what? It's the creative arts. Like this year, what we're doing at the moment is it's focused around definitely focused around photography. So, for example, yesterday we had a workshop on iPhone art. My specialism is definitely the business end of things and the marketing end of things. So, I've run a course on branding. We had one which is kind of like a business plan collection, which is done already, but gives people a really good oversight on how to get their business off the ground. And the thing is, like, they're really affordable as well. So they're priced at anywhere from $50 up to $150. It's not crazy. And also then coming up, people can log onto the website. It's engagelive.co and check out the courses schedule. So we've got things like food photography. We've got a really good guy called Kevin Mullins, who is Kevin's like a reportage photographer. We've got Tracy Willis, who's a baby newborn photographer, and we've got a range of different people that are coming to train on the platform. So we're trying to cover all bases, and you know what? It's really exciting. Being at the helm of a startup that has such momentum behind it right now is just incredible, and there's just so many things from day to day. There's something new happening, which is so exciting.
Can I say, so when I first checked out the engagelive.co site, I saw the food photography thing, and I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And then last night, I was telling Carrie about it, and she's going through the site on the mobile, and she's like, oh, this is great. Food photography, like she got really excited. I was like, great. Well, we're apparently going to be watching very intense.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's this girl called Bia Lucas, and you know what? If you're hungry, do not look at her photographs. Like literally, we looked yesterday before lunch, and I was like, oh my goodness, they just literally mouth-watering. So it's really exciting, and we have so many great chefs here as well. So we're excited to actually get her into the kitchen with some of the top chefs that we have here in Ireland, and kind of photographing some of their stuff. So yeah, don't do that on an empty stomach. Oh, by the way, we've got some Tito. These are very famous Northern Irish crisps. They're called Tito. So these are Tito cheese and onion. And anybody, this is a little bit of advertising. I think these have been banned in America now.
I've never even heard of those.
I've never seen them. You showed
so
them
this
to
is
me.
really famous. So we have like a very famous like Northern Irish delicacy, a crisp sandwich.
Okay.
So basically, you fill like a sandwich with these cheese and onion crisps.
All right. So I've done that with like classic Lays. You have a sandwich and need to snazz it up a little bit.
I found my daughter the other day making a burrito of goldfish inside of a tortilla.
That sounds great.
I don't know, but this actually sounds really good.
So
yeah.
So going back,
seafood burrito.
Yeah, seafood burrito. Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Todd chiming in from
yeah.
Showit CEO Todd Watson.
About the goldfish.
Yeah, goldfish. So let's go on with the things and stuff that you've learned over your course, the marketing tips and everything, getting into that. And we can even give real life examples on how they've helped you with your photography business, obviously, and Engage as well. So you had three fairly simple but highly effective tips to share with us today. You want to kind of run through the first one. What's the first thing that you should be looking into, like getting yourself out there marketing wise?
Okay, so my top three tips, and these are the things that definitely work the best for me. The first one is that word of mouth is definitely the most powerful form of marketing that you can utilize. Constantly delight and surprise your clients, and you'll turn them into raving fans. So I can give you guys a few little ideas and things that they can research a little bit more. Obviously, same-day slideshows. I know that a lot of people will be doing that during their weddings, but there's actually still a lot of people who still do not do a same-day slideshow. I know for a fact, the good thing about that is it's free to do. It's win-win. It's great for the bride because the bride gets to see some images, and also she's validated through her friends coming up and saying how awesome they look. And for you, it's free marketing, so it's absolutely no-brainer. So if people aren't doing a same-day slideshow, it just makes so much sense.
So this brings up an interesting question, because I've seen about a half dozen ways that people display their same-day slideshows. Are you one that does the laptop? Do you do an iPad? Do you do and upload them automatically to an online gallery? Like what's the how do you do it?
And you know what? I've spoken to Meg Courtney who uploads them to Pass, and I've talked to Matt Kennedy about putting them on his iPad and everything as well. There's so many great ways to do it. Personally, I put on my
Liz ran off the counter and
yeah. I put it on my laptop usually, or if I can plug into the system with the venue, that's great. But I think it's just usually I like to put it on the laptop, and I don't say anything to anybody. And usually it's great. You just get somebody, right? This is a guest. Okay, they're walking along and they're like,
Yeah,
Michael?
right.
You're like this, right? And yeah, so they just love, you know, checking that out, and then they go back, and it's very conversational. So I feel that works really good.
So,
I mean, I think.
Oh, I was gonna say, and then where do you set it up? Because when we were shooting digital, what we'd do is we'd get a high top table and we'd set it up right next to the bar, because that's where most people want to go.
Yeah.
So where do you set yours up?
You know what? Usually, yeah, but there's a lot of people going past, so just try to evaluate where that location is. Like, definitely, if you can plug into the venue's system and run it off the screens and play music, it's really good. It can be really powerful. And I've literally had people like crying with delight because they've got to see them like that. And it's very impactful. But yeah, otherwise, I just try and put it somewhere where, you know, a lot of people can see that real quick. And I know there's, you know what, you could go into same day slideshows. We could talk about this for a couple of hours about how the best ways to do it. But I think, you know, the bottom line is, if you're not doing it, you need to start.
Yeah. And then how much, another quick question on the same day slideshow, how much do you edit? Because if you're doing them on your laptop, you probably have Lightroom, Photoshop, one of the two open and available. How much do you actually edit before?
Yeah, so I do personally. I don't do too much. All I do really is I change a couple to black and white, and then probably adjust the exposure level, and then throw on a preset.
Yeah.
And that's as far as it goes, really. Because yeah, we're kind of limited in time. The thing is, like, the structure of our weddings over here is really different to the structure of the weddings in the States. Because I know a lot of people in the States do first looks, but most of the time, like, what time would you say most weddings start in America? What time usually?
Like ceremony start time?
Yeah.
Probably 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it varies. I mean, we try and go like an hour before sunset or so.
Yeah. So here usually, like, most of our ceremonies start at 12 or 1 o'clock in the day.
Okay.
So the first look is not an option for us. So usually, you know, we have a couple hours before the service, then a receiving line, which usually lasts an hour, and then family photos, 20 minutes, an hour with the bride and groom. And then sometimes shoot details and a few guests, and then it's into the meal. And then when the meal is taking place, you usually have a couple hours, and then you've got half an hour for speeches. So the structure is kind of, I don't know, I guess everybody spends the same amount of time eating, right? But yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard going to get your slideshow together in that time. You're busy, so you definitely need to have a second shooter as well, because that will help you to kind of maximize your time and your process. And I know Vanessa Joy has a really good process for doing this as well. So people can check that out as well.
There are so many ways to do it, and I unfortunately went to go and grab something to show to you guys, and then made a ton of noise offsite,
knocked everything over.
Not realizing that there were magnets and metal involved.
That board that we had worked so hard on yesterday, completely destroyed. So we have no idea what's going on.
No, but I put mine on an iPad, and then I put it in a frame, and I set this in a stand, but then it can also be passed around, and it has a magnetic back. That's why I made all the noise. It was connected to a metal box. But I started taking an assistant, and she works on the same day slideshow during the ceremony, because I don't really need her during the ceremony. And so then she starts downloading cards. And so there's so many different ways that you can do it, but it is really a powerful marketing tool. It's not just for the bride and groom. It's great for the bridesmaids to see. And they start thinking about, and I need to tell so-and-so and so-and-so all about what a great photographer you are, even though they've only seen a handful of images.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the same day slideshow. I can run through a few other ideas as well.
Yeah, go for it.
You know, I think definitely people need to work really hard on their customer experience and try to deliver an incredible customer experience. Things like handwritten notes, you know, can just add that personal touch as well. So, you know, just drop people a little note to say thank you, or a note before the wedding to let them know you're excited about, you know, shooting the wedding and everything. And likewise, you know, after I shoot at a venue, I usually drop a personal note to the wedding coordinator as well, just to say, you know, thank you so much for feeding me and looking after us at the wedding. You know, it was amazing to be there. So just kind of thinking really hard about your customer experience. We just did a course on Engage on a piece of software called Light Blue, and Light Blue is like a customer management software, CMS system. So you know, having some sort of system that enables you to get back to people on time. Because I noticed when we got engaged, one thing I couldn't believe was that so many people never got back when we emailed different suppliers. I don't know if any of you guys have had that experience, but definitely the customer experience that we had wasn't great. So, you know, I hope that, yeah, most people definitely having some sort of a system to track your information can really help. Yeah, over deliver, of course, is like super important. You know, if you do a wedding and you're like telling the people they're going to have the images in a few weeks, and then you deliver a week later, they're obviously going to be livid. But if you tell them that you're going to have the images with them in, I don't know, a couple of months' time, and you deliver in 3 or 4 weeks, they're going to be delighted. So just look at how you can over deliver, or look at how you can manage expectation throughout your process as well. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, follow up with lost or former clients, and also gifts as well. I know you guys have talked about gifts as well a little bit recently as well, but you know, think about how you can incorporate nice little gifts and surprises. Like last year when we got engaged, we were, the next day, as I say, we went to WPPI, so we were driving to WPPI from LA, and because of the time difference, we hadn't let everybody know that we got engaged. So because Margaret has a daughter, so Margaret wanted to let her daughter know first. So on the drive there, she called Jenny. And then Jenny put it up on Facebook. So I think the drive from LA to Vegas is like 5 hours or something like that. So basically the whole way to Vegas, Margaret was on her phone. And I said to Margaret, you know what, like your bill is going to be so crazy. So she got back, and I have literally no idea what that bill was, but I think it was phenomenal. Yeah. Well, we have this thing, right, where if she gets something, if I buy a lens, it was £40. And if she, like, I don't know, she got her teeth whitened recently, apparently that was £40 as well. So that's kind of the way it works. So the bill was £40, but it was probably like 4 or 5, 6, 7, 800. So yeah, so we were sitting at my desk one day, and the next thing a delivery van like pulled up, and I went out to see what the delivery was. And you know, you're kind of expecting an album, or you're expecting something. I was like, what on earth is this? So they arrived with a box from O2. Which is like a telecoms telephone provider. So they arrived with this box, and I opened it up, and inside was the most beautiful bottle of champagne with a handwritten note to say, you know, congratulations on your engagement from the O2 customer care team. And I said to Mark, what on earth? So what had happened was
this does not happen in the US with our utility companies.
So she called them up to complain about the bill. Yeah. And then she got chatting to the girl on the phone, and the girl was like, what were you doing in America? And she told her the story about us getting engaged. And then they decided to send this bottle of champagne. Well, you know, we totally didn't expect it, but it blew us away, because sometimes it's so nice to get those gifts they're kind of unexpected. Yes, so that's kind of my first tip. Word of mouth is definitely really powerful. Yeah, constantly delight and surprise your clients, and you'll turn them into raving fans. So yeah, my number two tip is the most feel-good marketing involves helping others in the industry and serving others. I provide vendors from weddings with images, a link on my blog post, and help when they need photography for their business at any other time. Be at their service, and you'll benefit from lots and lots of referrals.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that one's huge, and it's often overlooked. And it's not just going out to venues and saying, "Hey, I'd like to take pictures." It's the follow up afterwards, which I think you're really hitting the nail on the head, right? Like giving them their own gallery, giving them their own access, like making sure that you credit them and everything that they're doing. You know, the florist, like it's sad, but not everybody does that. And so I think that's such a huge tip, and the referrals that come in from that are just amazing.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you got to think about who is ahead of you in terms of the customer, like the purchasing cycle of a bride. And really, most people, I think, you know, book their venue first, and then usually it's us, it's the photographers, like the venue and the church, and then the photographer. So the thing is, like, really for us, the most important people in that process it's the venue. So I definitely think that most people, you've got to put most of your effort there with the venue, and then look at other people. So other photographers, florists, DJ, bridal dress stores, makeup artists, hairdressers. So try and put a big effort into developing a relationship with them. And I think also it's important to think long-term, because obviously that bride, they're just in the market and then they're out of the market. And because they're married, and then all of a sudden they're having babies, and buying houses, and life's moved on. They're not thinking about their wedding anymore. Yeah, you need to think long term, because the thing is, if you go to a bridal fair, for example, it's important. I always try and go around and network with other people at the bridal fair. Because the thing is, the bride will have moved on, but those other photographers and those other people within the industry can still refer you as well.
That makes sense. And so many times, the other vendors need great photos. They just really need good pictures. And so many photographers are just not even delivering those images to them. And so that just makes you stand out in the crowd. And what you think as a sea of photographers, serving them and being very intentional about that will really elevate your brand and your name with all those vendors.
I mean, how many times have you seen a florist go up and, pull out their phone and be like, boop, like, got my flowers. It's like, oh, you'll get more.
You'll get more. But I love that as part of Engage, they have, it sounded like you've got an iPhone photography class. That would be so valuable to those other vendors who aren't getting pictures, just to know how to take a few good ones of their own. Too.
Absolutely. And you know what? The thing I love about this kind of marketing tip, or this idea, is that it's what I would call like feel good win-win marketing. Because the thing is, like, it feels good to help other people out. And it almost, there's just kind of a saying that it's almost better to give than receive, in terms of giving presents and things like that. And it definitely feels good to help people. And it's not that you're like being devious and trying to think like, what can I get from you? It's not like that at all, but you're just kind of serving people. And I think sometimes that karma comes around, and people will look at you in a great light. And even I think a lot of times I find that brides will come back to me after and say, we went to see our florist and we mentioned that you were the photographer, and they were like, oh, he's the best, So, and the thing is, like, you want to hit them up as much as you can, because I think it was Ogilvy, who's kind of a marketing guru, who said that you need to hit people 7 times. So whether that's hitting their website, meeting you at a bridal fair, or reading about you in a magazine, and then, going to a vendor and saying, I'm thinking about booking with this guy or this girl, and then they say, oh, he's the best. So that's the thing. It's kind of helping you to cover your bases as well. If I was a newborn photographer, again, I would obviously link up with like toy stores, other retail places, mother and baby groups, hospitals, nurseries. Think of all those people who are involved in that industry, and try and build that relationship. I can tell you guys a little bit about how I've actually went and developed those relationships. If that would be interesting. Yeah, cool. So what I did a couple of years ago there was I reached out to all of the venues that I wanted to shoot at. So I kind of listed out the venues that I was kind of most interested in, the ones that I wanted to engage with. Okay, sorry, no pun.
What
I did
just I wanted to engage live.co with them.
By the way, you haven't met my leprechaun yet.
No.
Let's say, here you go.
Oh.
Okay, so this is the leprechaun. So it was really funny. So we chatted to these guys earlier on, and at that stage, I should be wearing something green here today, but so the funny thing was that Tom had to run out and buy something Irish, and he went and bought
my
this
leprechaun.
Yeah, so like we had like 5 minutes before we were going live, and this wasn't blowing up yet. So I was shouting to Tom. I was all, Tom, blow like you've never blown before. So Tom blew this up in 5 minutes.
Tom, we appreciate you.
His end result is magical.
Where is the pot of gold? That's what we all want to know.
So that's our leprechaun. He'll be lucky. So that's why hopefully these marketing tips are going to be very, very lucky today for all of your viewers as well. Sure. So I was saying to you guys before, what I did was I drew up a list of the venues that I really wanted to connect with and shoot at. I sent them a personalized card. So I put together a card which had an image from their venue if I'd shot a wedding there. If I hadn't shot a wedding there, I just got a really beautiful generic image and I put that on as well. And then I sent that out to them and I just said, thank you so much for everything that you've done. It's been amazing to shoot at your venue. I'd love to come and talk to you about how I can help you more, and also to show you some of my work, and it'd be great to grab a cup of coffee. So at that point, we sent it out to quite a number of different venues. And what actually happened was we had loads and loads of people say that they were interested in having a meeting. So we weren't kind of expecting that. But what I did then was I just basically went out and met with the wedding coordinators, had a cup of coffee. And the thing was, I really stressed to them what I could do for them. So I wasn't going there saying, oh, what can you do for me? So some of the things I talked to them about was, any photography that they needed, I would love to help them out. So if they have like team photographs or they have a new menu, I would be delighted to come there, no charge, and shoot for them at the venue. I also pass them on some images from weddings as well. How's your hat? Getting on a little itchy?
Yeah, it's great. It's authentic, which is key and keeps you coming.
Yeah.
I think it's authentic to the $1 bins at Target, unfortunately.
It looks good.
Yeah, thank you.
So with those guys, first of all, just offered to kind of shoot anything that was going on around the hotel. I also offered to put together an album from the venue as well and to leave that with them. Also, the other thing I did was I offered to shoot them as well. So like one of the girls was like she was probably like in her early 20s, and I offered to shoot her and her boyfriend as well. And you know what? It never actually came off. It didn't happen. But that venue is probably one of the nicest venues in Ireland, and they added me onto their list. And the funny thing is that I never ever shot a wedding at that venue, but I got on really well with that wedding coordinator. But here's the funny thing: she left about 6 months later, and I'm still on the list. So the thing is, this year that's the venue that I'm shooting most at.
Yeah.
And that wedding coordinator isn't even there anymore. But it's because she had added me onto their list. So that's the thing. We just met up with them for coffee. Told them how I could help them, and then obviously asked, would it be at all possible to get added onto your list, or let me know if there's anything I can do to help. And the thing is, a lot of people will say, everywhere I go around the world, in the States over here, people always say, oh, but you don't understand my market. Like where I live, there's so many photographers. It's exactly the same for everybody. Like wherever you go, there's so many photographers, right? Do you guys get that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. We have. And what's funny is we have so many very really talented photographers just in the Phoenix area. It's like, oh, there's so many photographers. It's like, yeah, I know. I probably know 80% of them.
Right.
Like I got you. There are so many photographers.
And it's just really true. Anywhere you go, any market, that's the case. And everyone just has to deal with that and find ways to bring yourself out of that mix and elevate your brand and your business.
Absolutely. And that's exactly like you say, but yeah, you say to people, there's a lot of photographers, they go, but you don't understand my market. Like the photographers where I live, they're really good. Like they're really good everywhere. Yeah. So, people are up in the games.
No, but Donald, they're really good here. They're like, I don't think you understand what we do. No, exactly. It's the same thing everywhere you go. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So, but the thing is this, right? There's a lot of photographers, there's a lot of venues, right, that will have had what you say is like a resident photographer or somebody they've always recommended, right? And there's a lot of venues out there. There's new wedding coordinators that have just come into the role, and they're not kind of aware of that old system, or maybe they don't 100% like the work of that photographer. Or sometimes, I think some photographers get lazy and kind of complacent, and I think we all do this from time to time. But the thing is, if you've been in with the venue, let's say for 3-4 years, and they're sending loads and loads of work your way, sometimes you can just kind of forget about them and maybe not look after them the way that you probably should be looking after them. And then if a new photographer comes and is enthusiastic and wants to help and connects with that wedding coordinator, it's a great way forward. Like one of the first years that I started really working to develop these relationships, one of the coordinators, I just really connected with this lady. And for example, I did things like when I was down there a lot, she was referring a lot of weddings, and I would give her like £100 voucher for Marks and Spencer's. You probably don't have Marks and Spencer's there, but Marks and Spencer's is like a really nice place to buy. The food is so good there. Yeah. So I give her like £100 voucher for Marks and Spencer's. And another time that I was there, I was doing a wedding, and she said that her like feet were so sore, because she'd been on her feet for like a few days doing weddings. So I bought her like one of those little fishy massages, those things like the feet things.
Oh,
they used to be huge a few years ago. Yeah, what do they Guppy?
I don't know.
Wait. Fish massagers?
Yeah, so this is like your fish sandwich.
It's like a goldfish burrito.
It's like. Yeah, it's like water. Have you ever seen this? You get like water and you put your feet in, and then all these fish like eat the skin.
Yes. I've heard of this.
Yeah.
Yes.
This like really took off a few years ago in Europe. I thought it was a worldwide thing.
It's a thing.
yeah, it was like 2 years ago. They had these everywhere. They had them in malls, shopping centers over here, where you could go and sit and put your feet in a thing of water, and these like little fish would eat the skin off your feet. It sounds horrendous, actually, but you know what? It was like it was a big thing.
Well, when you explain it that way, I'll take two.
No, the fish loved it. Don't worry. But so I bought her this fish thing anyway, and she absolutely loved it. But I've got to say, like that year, she referred me 20 weddings.
Whoa.
20 weddings. Like, so that was like so easy. They would just call and say,
that's
so they would call and say, like, you know, Valerie said you're amazing, that we have to book you, and they booked. But the thing is, unfortunately, you know, the thing is, she left her post, and I still get referred weddings from there, but not to that scale. But also, I've got to say, after doing 20 weddings at one venue, you know, I was kind of like ready to, you know, like check out other stuff too.
Yeah. Where should we go for this shot? Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a challenge, you know, but they have like an epic shot there that people always wanted. But the other thing I was going to say is, like, share your images with people as well. So Pass obviously is a great way to do that. And you know, sometimes I get wedding photographers that message me and say, I got asked by a wedding coordinator for an image, how much should I charge them? Yeah. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you know, the thing is, think long term. Because, you know, somebody's referring 20 weddings to me, that's worth a lot of money. And I want to help them out whatever way I can and share images and do what I can. Okay, so on to my third marketing tip.
Number 3.
So my third marketing tip for today is let your work be your marketing device. Invest in training and work to stay creative. Develop your craft and your work will sell itself. And that's the bottom line. You know what? Just make better art is like what I heard somebody say at WPPI, you know, just kind of let your work be your marketing device and do your best job to get images which really stop people in their tracks. I'll get people talking about you.
Well, and I think that's huge, especially when you have developed these relationships with other vendors. And let's say you're shooting 20 weddings at a location. As long as you're developing your craft and you're getting better and you're trying to learn and you're investing into yourself and your skills, like it's a heck of a lot easier to make it through 20 weddings at one location when each wedding you show up wanting to try something new, having a new technique, pushing yourself to do it. And then it becomes a lot less about, oh, I'm shooting at this venue. It's oh, I get to use my new skills and the stuff I've known for years to really highlight the venue, the bride, the, you know, everything. And so I think that's huge. One of the things that I like to do there, and when I say I mean Carrie, and she teaches me back, but it's to connect with the other vendors, like the florists and the people who use their art as part of the wedding day, and really trying to figure out, okay, well, like with these flowers, how should I shoot these? What's the importance? What's this? Why did you do this with it? And like, as you're learning, then you get a better understanding. Okay, I can shoot this way. And maybe, I mean, it's just constantly trying to improve yourself, and then it never gets old.
Learning from the other artists around you is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Hopefully that's what we can do through Engage as well. Hopefully that's going to help people to skill up and develop, you know, some skills. And that's why I'm passionate about helping, you know, people to do that. I mean, the thing is, I think as creative people, it's very easy to fall into a rut. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this. And the thing is, like, I think like the quality of what I shoot is like really consistent right now. And, you know, a couple of years ago, I felt that, you know, I was shooting consistently at a really good level, and I was shooting things and they looked really, really great. But to an extent, you know, they were, you know, from one wedding from the next. I don't know if the creativity was kind of where I wanted it to be. So sometimes you need something to give you a kind of a jolt to tell you to start kind of accessing your creativity and start to be more creative in the way that you shoot. And yeah, I think you can do that by training, by trying to get inspiration, also like getting inspiration outside of photography. So I think that's why it's important to run like an efficient business, because I know there's a lot of photographers. This was actually the thing that inspired me to start Engage. There's a lot of photographers who are photographing beautiful moments in the lives of their clients, and they're missing out on those things in their own life. And that is like so sad to me, because unfortunately they're up to like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning editing. And they're not actually, like, their work-life balance is terrible. And, you know, the thing is, like, okay, yeah, my work-life balance, you know, at times we're super, super busy and it could definitely be better. But I think when Margaret and I started dating each other, our first dates consisted of her coming around while I edited and we watched movies in front of the television.
Just sit next to me. This is a date.
It was romantic, I promise. But the thing is, yeah, by like outsourcing editing and things like that, that can really, really, really help you to, you know, can really, really help you to start, you know, winning back some of that time in your personal life. And yeah, so I think that's super important.
It's so important that you are living your life and documenting your life. I know that I am guilty of keeping my cameras in the bag so that they're safe and nothing gets broken, and taking only pictures on my iPhone of my daughter.
There's a class for you.
I really, like, I need, there's a class for me at Engage. And I think photographers, not just wedding photographers, can really benefit from this. I have a really good friend in Nashville named Kathleen Clipper, and Kathleen is a fashion photographer, and she decided that she wanted to do a personal project, and she's shooting the beards of Nashville. And she's going out on the street and photographing men in their beards in Nashville. And she said, I just wanted to like really jump outside of my normal everyday thing and get that creativity flowing again. So I think as artists, it's such a really good
Makes me sad I'm not in Nashville.
I know, right? And all the Showit guys want to go to Nashville now and get their beards photographed.
Just for the pictures.
But, that's such good advice. That's I mean, for all artists, step outside and live your life. Don't just document everyone else's.
I think your friend would do so well on Kickstarter. I have a friend in Nashville as well who works on Engage with us, Levi and Shayna from Harder Wiggins. Those guys are amazing at social media and blogging, and yeah, sometimes he's got a beard. I don't know what, you know. So, but do you know what? Kickstarter, the beards of Nashville. I can guarantee you this thing could be like funded 1,000,000%.
I would, you know, if I got a T-shirt from it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Todd's already backed it. Todd may have just started.
Todd may have started the Kickstarter for Kathleen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kathleen.
You should get a clip-on beard, right? You should get a clip-on beard.
Right?
Yeah. She could rock a beard. You could totally rock a beard.
Check out this guy. This guy's kind of got a beard. It's a little bit ginger.
If that leprechaun has one.
Yeah. So he's got a little beard going on there. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of. Yeah, work hard to be creative and create work that just, you know what, people just cannot resist.
Yeah. Well, I think those are 3 great tips. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Donal, and for putting up with all of our American over stereotyping.
We like to overdo things a bit.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, and yeah, you guys got to get me back on the 4th of July.
Yes.
This is what I said. Independence Day, I will be so Americanized. It will be unbelievable. I'd be fist bumping, high fiving, hugging. You guys, it's gonna be happening.
So you have us on Engage for 4th of July, and we will. I already told you what I'll wear.
It's gonna be.
You can be every American stereotype that you would like to be. So thank you very much for putting up with us, and do seriously consider Scottsdale, Arizona, as a great place for like the second half of your honeymoon. Yeah. And I think it would be perfect. We would love to see you and meet Margaret. I don't think we got to meet Margaret last week, right? She didn't come with you.
Yeah, she was doing non-related, non-photography related stuff. So yeah, she was probably playing gambling machines and doing shopping and doing the things that other people do in Vegas.
Luckily, she only lost 40 pounds. Right?
Just.
Oh yeah. So what the thing is, right? She actually won. Unfortunately, I was on the worst losing streak when I was in Vegas, and I actually lost like all my money. And Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory machine. Yeah. So yeah, Willy Wonka is kind of off bounds for me now.
That'll get you every time. I was playing. I think was it a Star Wars one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played.
You don't do this anymore, by the way.
No, you don't. You
do
this. But yes, I played the penny slots, and I am embarrassed to say I think I lost $20 in about 7 minutes in pennies.
Yeah.
Not a good choice for me. I should have invested that in a few Starbucks drinks.
Yeah.
She lost it in a short amount of time.
I would have been a lot luckier if I would have brought this guy, right?
That's true. I did. From now on, take that with you everywhere you go. And Tom, thank you so much for rushing out and getting that lucky little leprechaun so that we could show that you in fact are Irish.
Yeah.
Donal.
Yeah, we needed that.
We really. Your accent, we're not so sure.
That
about
was
it
the
yet.
proof. That was the proof we needed. He has Guinness and an Irish.
Yeah.
I love that when we talked to Donald first thing this morning, he really did say top of the morning to you.
Yep,
It was
top of the
nice.
morning.
Top of the
That's
morning.
right. Everybody in Ireland are going to be, I'm going to be getting some,
Some flack. Yeah, it's all right.
yeah, stick. I was going to say stick. That's what we say, but some stick today or flack. Yeah, I'm going to be getting some flack from
Well,
everybody.
stick would be appropriate on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah.
We'll turn it into a thing. That's what we do in the United
I'm making
States.
assumptions. That's what I'm doing. Well, thank you once again, and thanks for
Thank
joining
you
us.
so much.
And we're excited to be a part of Engage and to support you in this. I think it's going to be huge, and it's a wonderful idea and something that'll be great for not only the UK but putting it on the internet that allows everybody in the world to see it. So that's wonderful.
Yes. Absolutely, thank you. You know, it is worldwide, and that's the thing. It's for absolutely everybody. We're flying over trainers from the States. We're blending that with people over here. And the thing is, it's live, it's free. People don't need to spend a fortune, you know. And if they do want to download the courses, of course they can invest in that. But the Kickstarter's on to Friday, so people can actually get some amazing deals right now if they go to Kickstarter and back us on Kickstarter. That would be so amazing. And thank you so much. You guys have been brilliant, and thanks to Todd and you guys for your support as well. It feels like I'm getting a huge hug over the internet. I got one at WPPI, but it feels like I'm getting another one today.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, we love you. We're so excited for you, and we can't wait to see all the great things that are going to happen with Engage and you and Margaret. Very exciting for you.
So, and then everybody else, make sure you join us next week as well. I believe we have some in-studio guests. But they're not Arizonans. Normally we have in-studio guests and they live in the Phoenix area.
No, they're doing a little trip around the country.
Yeah,
Liz and Ryan are going to be here.
Yeah, so join us next week, same time, same channel. And we really look forward to seeing you guys. Have a great week. See you on the internet.
Bye, Showtiers. We love you.